So it is the season to switch back over from these to those. I think. Hopefully I'm not being premature here, but the temperatures look like they're going to be trending upwards from here on out. So we're going for it. All right, so we got the tires and wheels all swapped around. And now the next upgrade for the Tundra. I have been wanting to get rid of the cheap rubber feeling factory steering wheel in that Tundra for a while. I keep getting the advertisements on my social media for the like sew it yourself steering wheel wraps. However, I just have my doubts as to how good of a job I would be able to do with that, and it looks like they're very time consuming. I really wanted to find a factory leather steering wheel, and this one I found on Marketplace out of a 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. From what I gather, it's supposed to be the exact same steering wheel either way. So we are going to swap this thing in here and get rid of that cheap feeling factory rubber coated thing that the Sport came with. So we're going to start by cracking the hood, undoing the battery, and we'll get to work on changing out the steering wheel. Yeah, oof. Now that we got the battery disconnected, we got to come in here and pop these covers off to get to the fasteners that are holding the airbag into the steering wheel. This side has the cruise control switch around it, but I've had this out before, and you just get the little flathead screwdriver behind there, and I was able to pop it loose. It comes right around that. So once I popped it loose with the flathead screwdriver, this just slips off, and now we can get to that fastener. You can see the Torx head screw there that we have to take loose to get the airbag out. So those are a T30 Torx fastener, and they're what I would consider to be like a trapped piece of hardware. Once you unthread it, the black plastic shroud there prevents the screw from like falling down where you're going to lose it. So I've removed those two things, and now the steering wheel just comes loose, and we'll very carefully disconnect the wiring to this and get it out of the way, and then we'll move on to dismantling the controls and stuff. So the wiring harness on the airbag, these connectors have a section here, the yellow, that you pop up with a little flathead screwdriver. See if I can get it to focus. So that yellow section, you just like get underneath this edge of it, pop it up with a flathead screwdriver, and then the whole plug pulls outward. Don't twist it or break it. The pins in there are very small and frail. You don't want to do that. Once you get the airbag connectors out, you do have the grounding wire here, which is for the horn. And then you've got a couple of connections there, which are for the switches or the controls on the steering wheel. Now that I have all that stuff kind of out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and remove the nut, see if I can take the steering wheel itself off, and I'll swap the controls over on the workbench. So the nut holding the steering wheel to the column is 19 millimeter, very simple removal. Next, I've had good luck in the past with other vehicles, just grabbing the steering wheel on both sides with both hands and wiggling it back and forth to get it to come loose. If that doesn't work, there are holes here. You can use a steering wheel puller if necessary. Well, don't do what I did. So, with a couple of good tugs and wiggling the wheel, it was able to pop it right off. Unfortunately, I didn't think about the clock spring assembly trying to come with it. It's very important that you push the wires through the steering wheel as it comes off. And doing it in this manner, I was not able to control that speed at which it came apart to slowly tuck the wires like I should have. And now I got to deal with this mess. Oh boy. So, only because I had dealt with the one in the Tacoma when I did the cruise control modifications with the clock spring and that, had I learned how to do this. The cords. I can't video myself and do it, but the cords in there, there's an inner winding and an outer winding, and then at some point they have to like loop. So you end up with like kind of a hooped rope end at some point, right? And basically that hooped rope end moves as the steering wheel, you know, gets threaded or turned both directions. And then you got to just super gently, but spin it, find both end points, and then find your center point, because my steering wheel is straight, so that I got everything lined back up. So anyway, a little disappointed in myself for missing that, but you guys aren't going to have that problem, because you're going to watch this video and learn from my dumb mistake. Where you can really see the difference in this like rubbery kind of cheap wheel versus the nice factory leather wrapped wheel. So I will say the leather wrapped wheel is very similar in diameter. With some of those sew-on kits, you're going to get a little thicker steering wheel. So if that's what you want, something that's a little thicker to grab onto, then maybe that's what you want to do. And maybe you don't want to do the steering wheel swap, but I much prefer this. So now there's a bunch of hardware in here, all these Phillips screws that we're going to take out to remove the switches and whatnot and get this stuff all transferred over to the new wheel. The back cover portion simply just snaps on and off. Once you get the controls all out of place, it's very obvious. There's just a couple of spots. You push some tabs over and it just slips off the back. Slip that one on and then reinstall all your switches. And we got a nice looking leather wrapped steering wheel put back in the Tundra. Experience just that much nicer. Next, I think I want to do leather seats. I just need to convince the wife that that's an okay amount of money to spend. So, this is what you get. And you can't turn it off. It's constantly cycling through. Even if I hit the like back arrow, within a few seconds it starts triggering the lights again, the warnings again. So these are all the warnings that you get when you mess up your clock spring. I've tried the resets, I tried wiring tests, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.